Without the mission, you lack direction. Women will disrespect you. Nobody will give you an opportunity. Nobody will give you a chance. So in this video, I'm telling you that you should please watch this video to the very end, where I'll tell you how to become a man on a mission. So let's get into it. Being a man on a mission. So first of all, what are the benefits of being a man on a mission? The first benefit is that is where true masculinity comes from. Not from these BS's online advice, not from the shallow dating gurus, not from the fake self-improvement guys, because when you become a man on purpose, or a man on mission, trust me, all this advice will come automatically. This is why I keep telling guys that stop watching this online dating advice, because truth be told is that the real advice for men is self-improvement. And the real advice for self-improvement as a man is being on a mission. It's that simple. But guess what? Your minds have been built to take complex answers, which is always ruining your life. Next thing now is one next benefit of being a man on a mission is that it gives you a form of status. Because when you're a man on a mission, you work different, right? You're competent, you're confident. People see you, you move differently, you talk differently, right? You approach women with a different kind of energy, and women sense energy more than what you look. So I tell guys, instead of improving your looks, why don't you improve your system, your entire demeanor as a man, right? And when you have status, what happens? Women come in. Now speaking of women, right? I keep seeing my students talk about, oh, I got this dating advice. I'm saying, bro, I get that, yes. Having game is okay, but guess what? The best game is no game. The best game, when I say the best game is no game, what it means is when you become a man on a mission, right? You are already attracting women who are into you. When you attract women who are into you, what is the need to play games? The keyword there is need. Yes, when you have game, it makes things exciting, it makes it fresh, it makes you feel like, it makes it playful, enjoying, yes, but you don't need it. But it'd be nice to have it. You will not rely on it to get women. You have it because you want to make it exciting again, like I've said. You don't need it. Next is when you're a man on a mission, you have control over your life. You have control over your life because you know what you want to do, right? You start taking steps of your own choice, because think about it. Most men out there, including you, right? Your life is in the control of the matrix. How does the matrix control your life? The matrix controls your life by what? Giving us ideas, giving us ideal patterns to life. You're born, you go to school, you get a degree, you get a job, you raise a family. That's how most people live their life. Being NPCs, non-playable characters. They're not even in the game in the first place. They don't even control their life. Their life is controlled by the narrative, the stories, the matrix, the ideas. I've made a video on the matrix before. Go and check it out. Again, when you're a man on a mission, you stop caring about people's opinions because you understand that you are on a different path from everybody else. You know that already, right? So you stop caring about people's opinions. Next is a brotherhood, right? When you are a man on a mission, you automatically cut off your loser friends. Automatically, your loser friends will fall off. You start attracting guys who they too are on their own mission. And guess what? When you meet guys on their mission, right? You guys talk different. You walk different. Your friendships are deeper, right? When you guys may not see every time, but when you see, you guys spend like half a day together. And it just feels like it's just 30 minutes. Bro, trust me, that's what you get when you have like the right brotherhood around you, right? The next thing you have is when you're a man on a mission, you have clarity of identity. A mission gives you confidence, self-awareness, self-esteem, self-love, simply because you are giving yourself what you need as a man. Again, I forgot. Okay, I think I passed that already. But anyway, I don't know, just in case though, in case you don't see this video, remind me to make a video about being a man on a mission with women. Trust me, it's kind of like a very interesting concept, and it always works for me and my students, right? Next now is 2. What are the problems when you are missionless? You don't have a mission. First is you will not have a direction as a man when you don't have a mission. Player, I didn't try to aim for that, but it happened, right? So when you don't have a direction, what happens is you just be distracted. Your mind won't even register your bad habits as distractions. Now you wake up one day, oh, you need women in your life, you're lonely. You go to YouTube and look for how to get women. And because these dating gurus, they are more of content creators, right? They will barely give you any real deep advice. They will barely give it to you. They give you quick tips, quick hacks. They work for the short term, but in the long term, they don't work. They don't work. What truly works is long-term game. I've said this several times. Game helps you for what? To make you excited in the short term and everything. But in the long term, what happens? What happens when you lack a personality? What happens when you lack self-esteem? What happens when you lack when you lack frame in the relationship? Again, eh, when you lack when you don't have a mission, you begin to form what weak habits, drinking, smoking, addictions, things that you cannot control. You begin to lack impulse control because what? Trust me, right? You're completely fucked. Without a mission, you're given to random habits that don't even favor you or suit you in the first place, right? Without a mission, you always that person who has complete chaos in his life emotionally. You feel anxious, you feel depressed, you feel like nobody wants you. The day you have to step up, you begin to experience self-doubt because you have barely showed up for yourself. You start crying. And to be very, very frank, one typical sign that that men these days are fucked is we're having a debate. Should a man cry? I'm like, think about it. 50 years ago, would that topic even have existed? People talk about, oh, it's toxic not to cry. If it was toxic, did our fathers cry? Didn't they survive how many centuries? All of a sudden, society is against you having a purpose, you having a mission. I think it's okay to cry. That is what you get when you lack a mission. That's why I tell people that see. I always use an analogy of this where you're a Navy SEAL person, you're a Navy SEAL member, right? You're a Navy SEAL, you're part of Navy SEAL Team 6, and your partner just got shot. But you have to complete the mission regardless. He just got shot. I can see that he's gone, he's cold. But you have to complete the mission. Yeah, but if he was injured, that's a different case, right? But you have to complete the mission, at least to honor your friend. That's why I tell men to do it. So when you have a mission, again, it's easier to control your emotions. Again, now, low status, right? The reason a problem with without a mission is that when you lack a direction, you are low status. You are minimal to no value. I'm not here to say, oh, I thought we were all special. Why we call me a loser, bro? When you have no mission, you'll be like every other guy. And when you're like every other guy, guess what? You are dispensable. You are low status. You are zero to little value, right? You can easily be replaced. And the worst part is that because you are low valued, you are low status, you begin to chase, I'm not attract. You begin to chase customers, not attract customers. You begin to chase women, not attractive women to your life. Can't you see how this is that I was supposed to name this video that having a mission will solve 90% of your problems. But trust me, I just felt like I'll make it again. Don't worry. This topic, I'll do it several times. Don't worry, stay with me. All of you here very well. 3 is you don't have. Let's talk about why you don't have a mission. See, I don't want to write this on the board though, because I wanted this thing to be a thing where I'll say it out. The major reason you don't have a purpose, number one reason is that society does not want you to have it. The matrix, the people who control you, they don't want you to have it. So they use these other methods to stop you from having a mission, right? So what is it? One, how they do it is comfort. They try to provide as much comfort as possible because when you are comfortable, it kills your drive, it kills your ambition. When you're comfortable, you begin to make your excuses as to why you're not even executed in the first place, right? Again, it kills your drive. You begin to make excuses, right? When you don't have a mission, you're easily distracted, right? With your distractions, when I mean distractions, you're looking at things like um vices, bad habits, instant gratification, always scrolling social media, thinking that you are taking action, deceiving yourself, right? It's the only reason now why you don't have a mission is wrong influence, getting bad advice from people who you think know what they are doing, right? You won't get wrong influence from your friends. I tell people that show me your 5 friends and I'll show you who you are. Bro, one reason you don't have a mission is you have bad friends. And with bad friends comes bad advice. Even with your shitty influencers, hey, my bad. Even with your shitty influencers, you still get what's bad advice from them. Right? They tell you how to treat women, you get her. This thing pisses me off because trust me, it do work in the short term. But in the long term, I keep getting guys that come to me and say, oh, yes, I did get some success with women, but I didn't get the kind of woman I wanted. Quite all right. Because truth be told is, all this advice, they will all work, they'll get you women. They'll get a lot of women, but with the women stay. I'll tell men that simple. One thing about women is, when women can see that, okay, if I can get into this guy's future, right? This guy's future looks stable because women will judge you based on your future potential. That's a thing that you should keep in your head. So when you're on your mission, and yes, like I said, I didn't say you should never learn game, right? You should never rely on it to get them, but you need them to keep them excited in the short term. Again, please, right? So next is why you don't have mission is because you have weak goals. When you have weak goals, what happens is you have zero focus. So weak goals like, oh, I want to get rich, I want to get fit. They don't lead you to action. They become ideas you dance with in your head, you play with in your head. You lie to people that, oh, I want to get rich, I want to get buff. But because of those goals are vague, guess what happens? Zero action. And when you have weak goals, you need to have random habits. For example, now is when you say you want to get rich, you will see yourself going on YouTube looking at 20 videos about how to get rich, thinking you're getting rich. But bro, that is just entertainment in your head. That's why I call it weak habits. Then one other reason you don't have a mission is that you fear. You are afraid. You want things to be perfect. So because you want things to be perfect and it's not possible, you begin to do what is trend hopping. You begin to go into you begin to have shiny object syndrome, where you're going on to the next best thing, never focusing on one thing, never focusing on at least maybe max three things, right? To come together to give you one result. No, you begin to move, you wait for what? A perfect moment, a perfect opportunity, a perfect skill, but there's nothing like perfection, right? You have to start and along the lines, things become clear to you. And this is why one of my best quotes is you have to be smart enough to pick up the information as you go. Because you can never have everything on the start. Now, how do you not become a man on a mission? So if you are bought on the idea of being a man on a mission, how do you become one? Is that one? Pick a direction. Oh my days. Pick a direction. So how do you pick a direction is set a 3 to 5 year goal. Design how you want to live your life from now to 3 to 5 years, right? Because that is a long-term goal. It gives your mind a direction, right? But now with a long-term goal, you need something else, which is called short-term goals. Because short-term goals, they guide your current action. So from your long-term goal, you need to you need to come down to short-term goal, right? And I always tell people to pick 3 goals because I'm not a firm believer in picking one goal. Nah. I see people choose finances, they neglect their body. 5 years down the line, that's some crazy illnesses because of how much they ignore their health. Their bones are shaking, they feel very feeble and weak. No. I tell you to set 3 goals. 3 goals around finance, fitness, competence. Why I chose that is because finance is very important as a man. Fitness is also important. Again, it's for your body, for your health, for your looks. And again, the plus is the looks, right? Because if you live healthy, if you are very fit, automatically, to a degree, you're already attractive. You are already attractive. Now, I chose competence there because as I put confidence, but I noticed that so many people out there are looking for how to be confident. It's like, confidence is not what you should aim for. You should aim for competence. Because when you aim for competence, automatically, you see, on this video, yes, or with my ideas, I always tell men to go long term and everything, quite all right. But with competence, confidence is inevitable if you aim for competence, right? Again, with competence, you're not playing shallow games, right? Because if you play shallow games, you win shallow rewards. 3, you show up every day, right? You show up every day on these 3 goals: your finance, fitness, competence. So competence, okay, so for finances, obviously, I want to make money, whether it's through skills, through a 9 to 5 job, through a business, whatever it is. Fitness, go to the gym, show up every day. Competence, do things that make you a better person every day. So, which is mostly around skills. You know the skills you want. Again, having a mission, if you have a direction, right? For example, is your mind begins to give you ideas of where you're lacking, and you begin to build competence around those areas where you're lacking. For example, if you have a vision, a mission to become that guy who is well-rounded, you have money, you have looks, you have women, right? Before you know it, you see yourself picking up competence in those little areas. Like, for example, now is maybe if you want to make money, right, you want to get rich through content creation, that begins to affect or rather improve other areas of your life. If you want to get this concept about holistic self-improvement, go ahead to reach me out with using any of the links in the description. and I'll be glad to work with you on how you can improve your life holistically. Now, I tell you to show up every day. You see, this is where the real magic happens, in the action, not in the setting goal, not in the research, in taking the action. So show up every day with your action. And four, find role models. Find role models for every of your goal that you're actively working on. For example, now is in your future, you want to be that lean guy who is fit, right? You want to be that lean guy who is fit. Find role models in the fitness. For example, now is if you want to get fit, instead of taking just online advice, go for somebody who is around you, who is close to you, or maybe online if you don't have anybody, and look at their advice. Look at what works for them. Most likely, it will work for you. With a few minor tweaks, now you have saved yourself what? Months of trial and error. Get mentors in the field you want to make your money in. If you're in business, get mentors in business. These guys, they'll save you years. They'll make you avoid dumb mistakes, right? Get what role models in just like life advice in general. Open. Yeah, came my office. I'm almost done. So it's a basic, simple four-step process. A mission. Pick a direction. Now, this is the truth. Now, you may ask yourself things like, oh, how do I know if I'm picking the right direction? The truth is, if you want to work with me, I can show you that. But this is it, right? For those of you who feel like you don't want to work with me, if you're looking for a direction, just move. Truth is that your mind begins to self-correct along the lines. At some point, you begin to pick up what your real mission is supposed to be. But until then, start with this four-step system. Pick a long-term direction. Oh, in the next 5 years, this is what I want my life to be like, right? Understanding to what in full details, what you truly desire, right? Without holding back. I made a video about having your dark masculine desires. Go and check it out. Now, this gives you a direction. Long-term goals give you direction. Short-term goals give you clarity of the action you need to take. Next, take the action every day, right? And four, find role models who make your journey easier, who make it better for you, smoother for you. You make less dumb mistakes, right? You see, they hold your hands, they guide you through, they will make your goals faster, right? And that's it. The system is very easy for anybody to follow. So you have no excuse. My name is Tonorea. Please, if you like the idea that I heard in this video and you want to help somebody else because not to feel good about yourself, please share this video with somebody who will find it helpful. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon and bye for now, brother.